It will be difficult for me to say I'm happy about the present state of the Nigerian situation on three critical cardinals. One is the fact that the present government we have in position has not only failed in the Nigerian state, but have taken every successes and every achievement that this nation had made in the last 16 years through the 1999 democratic enthronement till date. Every successes we have achieved has been placed on reverse mode, and the most painful aspect of it is the humongous amounts that they go out to borrow. You can't reconcile the projects to the amounts that have been borrowed. Now, if you say you have borrowed 300 billion or 3 trillion, and there are viable projects, verifiable, that could fit into such amount of money, it's understandable. But if you make account an assertion of such amount of money being borrowed, and there are nothing to show for it, it means something is fundamentally wrong. Not only that these things are wrong, that you hear that they borrow, and you hear that they've recovered monies. They've recovered monies from people that have looted our treasury empty, and they have this money amassed and accumulated to trillions of naira. We have recovered money. This recovered money have been relooted. We have borrowed money. This borrowed money have now been further looted. And so that something is wrong. But the major problem is the National Assembly. The National Assembly, by the organogram of democracy, they are supposed to be the watchdog. You say government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Now, by the people is the National Assembly. Government of the people is the executive arm of government. Government of the people, for the people, is the judicial arm of government. When you say for the people, it means in every situation, there should be a judicial system that will provide justice for the people with equality. And now, if this arm of government have equally been crippled, so government for the people have been taken away from the people. So you find out that several laws, several court verdicts have been neglected and jettisoned. Human rights have been taken from people. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech have been restricted. Even the means of having information dissemination is now being curtailed and tailored. Now, that aspect again has been kidnapped. Now you now come to the final aspect of it that should be government by the people. Government of the people, for the people, and by the people. By the people meaning that the National Assembly complex is warehousing the people through either federal constituency or senatorial district. Now it means by implication that the man representing my federal constituency is carrying the burden, the worries, and the pains of everybody from my constituency seated in that green chamber. The man representing my senatorial district is carrying the burdens, the worries, and the expectation of governance of my senatorial district in that red chamber. Are they living up to this expectation? The answer is no. This is a country where kids cannot go to school again, particularly in the northern part of this country, without being scared of either being kidnapped, being harassed, or being adopted. People cannot go to farm. People cannot ply the road. Outside the deplorable states of the road, as worse as the roads are, people still cannot ply this road in safety. So when you go to our airport, you see our airports always crowded. It's not that everybody loves to fly by air, but you don't want to be kidnapped on the road. You don't want to become victim of circumstance on the road. So all you need to do is to go through that discomforted situation. I had rather gone on the road, travel on the road, than to be on air, because your 1 hour on air in our local airline is a 1 hour that you have to either be saying your rosary or be saying all the prayers you need to say. But that is where we are. And we have a National Assembly. I will not only say that this National Assembly is a national embarrassment, but this present National Assembly, the 9th Assembly, they have made themselves an arm of the executive arm of government. It means that the executive arm of government, they are in the main house. This present National Assembly is in the boys' quarter. So we don't have a National Assembly that can challenge spendings of governance, National Assembly that can interrogate budgetary expenditure and budgetary performance. We don't have a National Assembly that will look at all the indicators upon which Nigerians are measured and rated. In the UNDP 2021 Globometry rating, Nigeria is 161 from 187 countries. Now, and the way at which these indicators are carried out, they are carried out on health, on education, and human capital development. It means in these three sectors, the government has failed. That is why we are occupying 161 from 187. So many smaller African countries have left us behind. There are situations in the educational sector, ranging from the outburst of Ebola, that has now snowdived into COVID-19. Every other part of the developed world, their institutions were shut, but learning was still taking place. Students graduated at the time they needed to graduate. But in our own case, for the purpose of closing the institutions, there were no facilities to have a remote lecture, either through virtual or except few private institutions. And up to this moment, there is no effort from government to see that there is either an improvement in the facility or the infrastructure, or having a combination or an interaction between the telecom providers and institutions so that these infrastructures could be present in schools. The other part of it, again, is the fact that there is digital disruption. That people that was closed down and lectures are still going on doesn't mean that the world will be waiting for us. So I fear a future of work of our country's graduates. Now you go to the agricultural sector, people can't go to farm. If you come to the Niger Delta, there is degradation of our soil owing to air pollution. Our waters are contaminated, our environment are destroyed. The social corporate responsibility of these occupants, these oil processing companies, explorating companies in our area, they don't live up to their expectations. And if you ask them, they are making remittance to government. What is our National Assembly doing? If you come to the transport section, you go through the roads, there are problems. And so you should have a National Assembly that will be up and alive to their oversight function. But it's lacking. So the president carries any loan request to them, they accept the loan request and they approve it. This is a National Assembly that had service chiefs before today, refusal, total disobedience and disrespect to that same chamber. They were invited in several occasions, they didn't come there. They summoned them in several occasions, they did not honor the summon. They ran to the president, the National Assembly cried to the president didn't answer them. They now passed a resolution of incompetency of that service chiefs. They were retired upon and the time the president desires that they should go on retirement. What did they compensate them with? They compensated them with ambassadorial nomination. And now that same National Assembly that these people had refused to go to, they had refused to honor while they were still serving as service chiefs, cleared them on a single instance as ambassadorial designate. So what are we saying? Do you think that kind of National Assembly can be government for the people or government by the people and government of the people? They cannot caution it. They cannot check it. So we see the present situation of the country is in a pitiable situation. Listen to what our president said in the UN. His statement in the UN National Assembly there. I do not think that even he himself is convinced by the statement he made. He's not convinced. But I listened to a reporter. A reporter said what he has told us is to the extent to which he understood what he has explained. Do you blame him? Now we have to go back. What do we have to go back to? First, before we go to the people, we have to go back to government by the people. That government by the people must go back and make effort to say that you cannot say a country of over 200 million people, that people have, you can find individuals with 3 master's degrees, you can find people with double doctorate degrees, and you say the entry, the minimum level of which somebody can be president of that country is an attempted GC, an attempted West Africa Examination Council, school SAT. An attempted, not that you write and you must have 5 credits. and attempted that primary school, primary 6 certificate attempted. So something is wrong. So I feel that if we have to get what is wrong right, we have to begin as Nigerians to mobilize for action before 2023. When I say mobilize for action, it's not by violence demonstration. We begin to filter the characters of people that will want to lease the Aso Rock Villa too. Because we are leasing that place to them to occupy for a period of 4 years. And if they behave well, we'll renew it for them for another 4 years. So we must prepare to reward and to punish. So if you do well, we'll reward you with our votes. If you misbehave, we'll punish you with our vote by kicking you out of office. So the state of the country is in a pitiable state, but I want to appeal to Nigerians that we must not lose hope. See, Nigeria has never been this divided. Nigeria has never been this divided, from ethnic division to regional division to sectional division, even to internal family division. Now you see people cry for self-determination. Before today, people had always wanted to express themselves, to be part of a government. But when somebody now comes to exhibit the fullest level of bigotry, the fullest level to a point of saying that a region represents a dot, to say that I will deal with them in a language they understand, when it's easy and it's convenient and it's a matter of excedency for you to declare a request, an agitation of a region as a terrorist act, and it's extremely difficult for you to even make a statement of a worse, not even a similar issue, but of a worst practice. It's difficult for you to condemn it, to take a position about it, and to give an action about it. Something is wrong. That is wrong is left for Nigerians to decide to either want to continue in that route or to stay away from it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.